Hi, welcome. In this video, this is part 3 of my breakdown video involving Larry Krohn, pictured here in the bite suit, and his encounter with a aggressive German Shepherd. Now, this is part 3. Actually, I had to take a phone call in the last video, so moving into part 3 here. And in the last video, ending with talking about how, again, when you step into the relationship, into encountering a dog that's gaining a high level of control in the relationship, and you start to bring in those core ingredients, influence and control, how that will throw the dog off. And this is where, again, in board and trains, especially, again, it corresponds to, for example, if a dog is hit the aggressive level, and I'm stepping in that way into taking over, transitioning the roles, and the owner is stepping away for the 2-week board and train, the dog becomes very aware. And it really throws them off because, when they're in full control of, say, the food, then that becomes a little bit of a problem because then they don't want to engage. And this is where you'll see dogs after 2 or 3 days not wanting to eat. At a certain point, I'll start to hand feed a little bit, but the right way, okay, to bring the dog back online. But again, understanding, and this is one of the big takeaways here, is those themes, influence and control, need to come together, need to hold together, need to be part of the process the right way to change perceptions of the dog before you start to think about getting a dog to express control by way of, say, protection, or in this situation here, getting a dog to, to play, okay? And again, because again, understand how this plays into, and this is one of the problems in terms of the dog owner's kind of idea of things, okay, about, their expectations, okay, when they show up with their dog or they're having a relationship problem. And understanding that, in terms of kind of rebuilding bridges, kind of re-signing the relationship contract, those bridges have to be built the right way, okay? The core of the relationship between the dog and owner needs to be reconciled, okay? Those core ingredients need to come in. It has to be very much interaction based in a very specific way. This starts to change the perception of the dog. Okay, before you start to engage in, say, protection or other ways. Now here in this video, this is kind of an example again of the confusion of balanced dog training. Because again, on the first video, you see how Larry Krohn, is in this bite suit and letting the dog control manifest. His dog is on top of him. And now he's continuing to wear the bite suit, okay? Because the idea of things here, again, I'm saying this is the second session, wanting this dog to, have fun, okay, to engage. And here, you talk about in this narrative over on the side here, and just like I said, saying about him opening up, he would not play yesterday at all. But like I said, obviously this dog, from how the controls manifest, this dog's hit the aggressive level. And so, when you start to, bring leadership in, you start to bring a certain even level of control in. Although here's the problem here, it's not coming in through a balanced training in the way that's going to provide integrity, okay, to really get the core right for a certain period of time before you start to, engage in certain things like this. Because understand, when I look at this doesn't make any sense, okay? Any sense in the way that, number one is Krohn is wearing that bite suit, which makes me think that he fears this dog, he could take a hit, okay? So if you're going to take a hit, that's a problem, right? But not just that, you need to be interacting in a way, if this dog needs to have a muzzle on, okay, so be it for a period of time. Because it's about the integrity, it's about how you're interacting the way that's going to line it up. It's going to fade in the dog owner. The interactions themselves need to be intentional and specific. That's not what's going on here. So this is like opening this up to say, hey, you know what? The owner has this idea about getting this dog to play, and when you already get a relationship problem underway. So the question I have to ask, well, what's the intent here? And how you want to see this, again, going back to the parenting example, it's like, it's like dealing with a selfish child that has become like overly invested in video games and is a brat, and you're thinking like you're so kind of enabling stuff, and you're so caught up in appearances that you're like, man, I just, I want I just feel so bad about all this that I want to have my child to not think of me a certain way. So I want to have some fun. But you're not fixing, there's no kind of engagement in a way between you and the child in a way that's going to switch over to the authoritative parenting style, and the type of engagement, the type of expectations, parental influence, how that's established, not coming together the right way at all through structure or anything else. You're just kind of feeling bad, and you have a certain idea about the relationship, but everything's contaminated. I understand, like, it's a problem because the child doesn't have a healthy way of thinking. And think about this activity here. Doesn't have a healthy way of thinking about, say, video games and certain things. And so why would you introduce that? Why would you not? You have to restrict that. You have to take that away for a period of time until those bridges are rebuilt, until the child's attitude has been changed through, right, the parent-child type of interplay engagement. So here, this is this type of thing where it's like, you're like jumping the gun. You're like trying to bypass a process that way, and you're just like, well, what's going on here? The dog is like thrown off. Well, of course the dog's will be thrown off because you're changing things up in a way that is causing the dog to think, okay, there's some control going on here. But then the thinking isn't like saying, well, okay, the dog's thrown off. We need to really bring this together here. I don't care about that. It's not about that way. It's about fixing the relationship. Okay, it's about those core ingredients coming in a way that's going to make sense to the dog and it's going to line up. Here, it's not that. It's just like saying this dog's thrown off. Let's make this better. Let's get this dog. Let's reactivate the dog. But the problem is the dog's gained this level of control. It's been manifesting. So now this is a problem because it's like you're not fixing, you're not bringing this, shining the spotlight on the owner properly through those core ingredients coming together through, the interactions I talk about that are specific. Okay, this is just about kind of like, I want a picture of things. I want like a pretty, Christmas postcard because it's about my feelings. Okay, I mean, there's reasons why people and the trainers will kind of play into this, but I understand balanced dog training represents confusion anyway. So don't ever expect the core ingredients to come in anyway. So this is what you're seeing. So it's crazy because you see bite suit. Well, then that's a problem. Why are you wearing a bite suit? Well, maybe because you're thinking you might get bitten. But then maybe that's, that represents the fact that, you need to follow the right path here. So this is, you see this is crazy. So I'll play some of this video. So same thing. It's just like, okay, but again, going back over, because when you read stuff, once you understand the to look through the right lens here, and again, a couple little clues. Again, I mentioned this already about being thrown off. Would not play yesterday at all. Well, there's your clue, right? But then there's something else talking about outbursts. His outburst so little that he realized in his real, well, the outbursts. Where are the outbursts from? Control manifesting. But here, this is all superficial. Right? This is just about, wanting the dog to engage a certain way. Okay, this isn't about lining stuff up.
See, the flirt pole allows me to keep a little distance and not make him so nervous.
Because right here, I mean, because again, just like, these balanced dog trainers, you see it all the time, how they leave the dog owners in a passive role. Okay, they're standing to the side. Trainers are talking, it's all about the tool, but it's the same type of thing here. It's just about, let's get this dog to play. But again, talk about the two core ingredients, influence and control, how they need to be reconciled. And the only way that's going to happen is, again, taking this through at a power play level, okay, through a specific interaction-based method. That's how this lines up. Okay, it's about intent. It's about that interplay that has to be happening. That's not happening here. Okay, this is just about, let's just get this dog to start to engage. Dog seems like thrown off a bit, right? Because it's that type of thing about control. Control is about fulfillment. I mean, it's how dogs can look balanced and happy and before somebody gets attacked, and then you're like, where'd that come from? Well, I don't understand. The dog was playing. Dog seemed good. And see, that's the problem. See, you have to get into the process itself, define it properly to get the right information. See, that's the thing about getting right information. The foundation has to be right.
Atta boy, Tucker. Good job, buddy. Now, if he blows up, I want you to pay attention. Move over a little bit. I want you to pay attention how you're going to handle it.
This is some crazy crap. Now, because again, I mean, it's like it's like you're in this bite suit, thinking that. So where's the control? I mean, where's the defined process here to get the right information? Right. This is just about again, and how you. This is a problem with this type of process through learning, is owners going to step in and it aligns with their current feelings. Right. It shines a spotlight on them differently. They get to engage, get to pet the dog, get to feel good about everything. But think about again, talk about the parent example. It's not about feeling good. When you get a relationship problem underway with a selfish child, you're not going to feel good if you're aligned with the right parenting style. But it's not about feeling good. It's about loving your child enough that you're going to do the right thing, and you're going to bring that structure in line. You're going to start to get in the child's airspace the right way to fix the problem. So this is all superficial stuff going on here.
Atta boy. See how I presented so he can grab the rag? Good boy. Oh.
Because like I said, there's a time and place. And if you go back and watch the Tom Davis video of him, like trying to establish the same thing, a rapport with the dog, and he's letting the dog express control, and then he gets redirected on. I mean, I talked through all that. The dog that already has control in the relationship, you haven't fixed the relationship. Those core ingredients aren't, in a process in the way in which it's going to change the perception of the dogs the right way. And then you letting the dog express control, and then suddenly there's a moment that you correct the dog. You see it in that video, and basically the dog said, "This ain't making sense," and he takes a hit. This dog starts to redirect on him because that's the point, saying, "Well, what's going on here?" And that's the thing about clarity, especially when you get in these dogs that are at the aggressive level. The clarity part is really important. I showed that in some videos when people are rubbing their hands on the dog blows up, right? Because it's like firing gasoline. But here it's the same type of thing. It's like it's total confusion. It's a lack of clarity as to what defines the process, how this all needs to come together, the role of the dog owner in terms of, those core ingredients I talk about, to start to change the core of the relationship. And then you start to branch off into different things. You want the dog to chase a ball or a frisbee or engage. That's great. But you don't do it like, this isn't the way to do it. Again, because it's about change. It's about change. So again, you read this thing over here. The clues are there. I mean, go through my videos and I talk about that. You can watch my board and train videos. You'll see this thrown off part. I talk through it. You'll see the dogs are thrown off. But you don't just you continue to move through it. Because then the dog, it makes sense. The dog starts to re-engage with food through different things. But then the perceptions have changed because those core ingredients have come into a process the right way. The dog's perceptions have changed the right way, and then you can start to branch off from there. So again, check out my website. Lots of great information. Again, balanced dog training, it just represents confusion. But if you go through all the videos, again, I'm putting lots of video content in my Flipping the Script series, you'll see the same themes. Just look at all these situations. I talk through all of it. You'll see the same themes throughout. Thanks for watching.